It's a pleasure to welcome Francesco Zaganelli from Lungarotti, the winery that put Umbría on Italy's wine map. With over 60 years of history, Lungarotti is renowned for blending art, culture, and wine, standing out its iconic Rubesco and its remarkable contribution to Italian wine tourism. We want to learn how this winery has given identity to the wines of Umbria. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and hi everybody at Orfe and our friends from Mexico. We're very happy to be here and representing my family, Lungarotti. The company started with my grandfather, Giorgio Lungarotti, that at the end of the 50s in this tiny little village, Torgiano, in the middle of Umbria, in central Italy, decided to change the approach to viticulture of his family, understanding the real potential of the quality of the wines produced in the area, and understanding how to start modern viticulture, intensive viticulture, for what we are used to understand and see today in rows. So he really gave a new impulse to the winemaking and fought a lot for the recognition of the first denomination, the Torgiano Rosso and Torgiano Bianco DOC, especially our Rubesco, the iconic wine of Lungarotti. And we obtained the denomination 1968, being the fifth DOC in Italy, the first in Umbria and the fifth in the country, so an historical denomination. Then for many years we've been the only producer of this denomination. And you know how many are we today? 4. So still today, one of the smallest denomination of the entire nation.
Perfect. Umbria is often called the green heart of Italy. How does its terroir influence the personality of Lungarotti's wines?
So the terroir of Torgiano, that my grandfather was really believing a lot in, it's really particular because it's right in the middle of the Umbrian Valley, at the beginning of a chain of hills called Colli Martani. This chain of hills is right in the middle of what it used to be in the Pleistocene area until 2 million years ago, a huge lake, a salty lake called Tiberino, and with a shape of a letter Y upside down, like Lake Como in Italy, with the 2 legs of the lake, and in the middle, right in the middle, Torgiano. So part of the vineyards that we still have today are below the original level of that lake, with a soil that is characterized by lime and sand, very soft, and this softness reflects a lot into the glass with certain wines, like the Lum, for instance. For its the characteristic of this wine is being round, smooth. Certain other vineyards are above the original level of that lake, with layers of clay and limestone subsoil, and this gives a lot of concentration, mineral touch to the wines, both white and red. That's why Giorgio was really believing a lot in the characteristic of the area of Torgiano.
Rubesco is an icon of both Lungarotti and Umbria. What's the story behind this wine and what makes it so special to the winery?
So, my grandfather really was pointing everything in the indigenous grape that we have, not just in Torgiano, of course, in the whole central Italy, which is Sangiovese. But Sangiovese speaks different languages according to the area, the microclimatic condition where it's cultivated. And the area of Torgiano, the area of Umbria in general, but specifically from Torgiano, has its own language. It's an area characterized by sweeter hills, not too high, with a generally warmer temperature in comparison with other parts of Sangiovese cultivating, like very famous in Tuscany or in Emilia-Romagna. So we are actually in an area that gives a Sangiovese which has more anthocyanins, more color in the skin of the grape, and a level of acidity which is good enough, not too high, and the perception of the polyphenols which is smoother and rounder. So we don't have like this perception of the tannins which is very strong in a certain way. This makes, at the end, wines that are very easy to enjoy and very versatile also in terms of food pairing. And of course, Rubesco, it's the iconic wine and also the name Rubesco that my grandmother, so the combination between my grandfather and my grandmother has always been the most important thing in the winery, because the origin of the name goes to the Latin rubescere, to blush. When you blush drinking wine, there's a happy meaning behind the name, and also the ruby, red color, that has the same Latin origin of the name. And it recalls the fact that in our culture, wine is something that you need to share with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. When you want to celebrate something, what do? You open a bottle of wine.
Lungarotti doesn't just produce wine, it's also founded the Wine Museum of Torgiano. Why do you consider it so important to connect wine with art and culture?
Of course, wine is the main element of our group, but it's not the only one. Culture has always been one of the most important, thanks to my grandmother, that will be 99 years old in a few days. And she created, together with my grandfather, in 1974, the Wine Museum. That is a beautiful museum of art, considered by the New York Times like the best wine museum in Italy and one of the best in the world. It's not a museum on Lungarotti, so you won't find not even a bottle of wine inside. It's a museum of art that talks about the history of wine in the civilization of man. So how wine was produced, consumed, and perceived by the pre-Roman civilization, like the Umbrians, the Etruscans, and then the Romans, and then going on until the Medium Age, the importance of the monks for the cultivation of the vines. Without the monks, we wouldn't have this art of cultivation of the vines that we have today. And then going on through the Renaissance, wine in the ceramics, in the glasses, in the art, until nowadays with the contemporary art and contemporary artists. So it's a 360 degrees path about this beautiful world of wine. So I invite everybody who is listening to us, who's watching us, to come visiting us and see and tour in the wine museum.
For those tasting Lungarotti for the first time, which wine would you recommend and which Mexican dish would you make the perfect pairing?
So our wines, for the reasons that I explained before, for this versatile characteristic of the Sangiovese, which is the main grape but not the only one, of course, I really think that many of the wines that we have are very versatile with different kind of food. For instance, the Lume, like for an easy wine to approach with, to start with, in order to understand and know the Lungarotti vineyard, the Lungarotti winery, Sangiovese Merlot blend, with a nice acidity, black pepper, spicy notes from the Sangiovese, and layers of fruitness from the Merlot. This is very versatile with different Mexican food as well, also with a little bit of spicy. While actually the Rubesco, which is more classic Sangiovese, and its Riserva version, the Rubesco Riserva, makes it more typical pairing with, for instance, pork, sausages, and the Sagrantino, indigenous grape of the area, famous for a very high content of polyphenols, rich in tannins, but we try to tame the tannins very well. This is good with the lamb. I know that you have very strong tradition with the lamb, so Sagrantino and lamb is perfect pairing.
Thank you for bringing us closer to the story of Lungarotti, a winery that seamlessly blends wine, art, and tradition. We are thrilled to share with Mexico the authentic spirit of Umbria through its wines. Cheers to that.
Thank you so much. Cheers.